Hello everyone and welcome to ITLS Academy Empower the Youth. So today in this lecture we will going to understand what is a Browning reaction. So before understanding the broad term that is related to Browning reaction, let us understand the basic of Browning reaction. Means what is Browning reaction and how it is related to any food product. So browning of food is it is a process, you can say, in which the change of color of food occurs. How the change of the color of the food occurs? Due to any chemical process. Okay, so this browning of food, it is a desirable for different types of caramelization of sugar. What it basically does, so this browning reaction, it imparts the flavor to different food items. Let's say a tea is brown in color when you boil water, and if you add some tea leaves to it, the color changes from the white from the transparent color to a brown color. So this color, when it changes, so what it actually does, so it is imparting a flavor in a tea. Sometimes when you toast a bread, the color of the bread, as you can see in this image, the color of the bread changes from the white to a brown, light brown. Okay, so this color, that is a light brown color, when it comes to a bread, it gives flavor to it. It gives us a certain types of a crust to the bread. So this browning is very essential, and it is basically just to give a food a certain type of flavor. And in the later part we will going to discuss means how many types of browning reactions are there. So before going into that, let us understand the definition part. So the browning is a common color changes seen in a food during a pre-preparation, processing, or storage of food. It occurs in varying degree in some food material. The color produced range from a cream or pale yellow to a dark brown or sometimes black, depending upon the food item and the extent of the reaction. Okay, so as you can see, I have already given you an example of a bread. I have if you see the color of the bread, when you give a desirable temperature to it, when the reaction according to, you can say कि to till which extent, मतलब आपका जो डिग्री है उस ब्राउनिंग करने की, वो कितने एक्सटेंट तक की. अगर डिग्री कम है, लेट्स से अ वेरी स्मॉल टेम्परेचर यू गिव टू अ ब्रेड, देन द ब्रेड टर्न्स टू अ लाइट ब्राउन कलर. अगर वहीं पर आप टेम्परेचर बढ़ा दोगे तो क्या होगा कि जो ब्रेड का कलर है वो क्या हो जाता है, वो ब्लैक हो जाता है, एंड दैट इज अगेन फ्लेवर दैट यू विल नॉट लाइक. So what is a browning reaction? So browning reaction may be desirable or undesirable. Desirable simply means whenever there is a desire to do anything, whenever the reaction is appropriate. Okay, you get whatever you want. ओके, एंड अनडिजायरेबल समटाइम्स व्हाट यू गेट यू डोंट वांट. मतलब आपने एक टेम्परेचर दिया, एक डिग्री दिया, हीट किया, और उससे ज़्यादा उसमें ब्राउनिंग हो गई, तो ऑफ कोर्स दैट फ्लेवर यू वोंट लाइक, बिकॉज वो बर्न्ड फ्लेवर हो जाता है. एक ब्राउन फ्लेवर होता है, एंड एट द नेक्स्ट इज द बर्न्ड फ्लेवर दैट यू विल नॉट लाइक. So in some food, the brown color and the flavor developed during the brownie is highly desirable, and which is associated with delicious and highly acceptable and quality product. Okay, sometimes this browning reaction, what it contributes, this is very important from the exam point, that the browning reaction, it contributes to the aroma, it gives the flavor, it gives the color of the product, such as browning crust of bread and all the baked foods, potato chips, roasted nuts, roasted coffee beans, and many other processed foods. So we all are aware of these foods item, that whether it's a crust of a bread, means a very light, जैसे हम लोग हिंदी में कहते हैं एकदम सिकी हुई ब्रेड. ओके, सो दैट सिकी हुई ब्रेड में एक क्रस्ट आता है, एक फ्लेवर आता है, तो दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द ब्राउनिंग रिएक्शन. अगेन ऑल द बेक्ड goods, like whenever you see any types of cookies, they undergoes a browning reaction. Similar case is with the potato chips. Potato chips also undergoes through a browning reaction, and because of the browning reaction, it have a certain flavor that you like, that people likes. It have a certain types of a crunch that people like. So all these is because of the browning reaction. Similar is with the roasted nuts. Okay, sometimes in the markets there are different kinds of nuts. Nuts are available in the supermarkets, and these nuts are named as a roasted nuts. So it can be used as a evening snacks, and it is used by a number of people across the globe. Then they have a roasted coffee beans. Against these roasted coffee beans add aroma, add taste to the coffee, and it is acceptable by every human body. And many other processed food. Now the what this is the desirable one. As already I have mentioned, this is the keyword of this topic, that is browning reaction may be desirable and undesirable. We have already covered the desirable parts. Means the desirable, it contributes the aroma, flavor and color to the product. Okay, now we will going to covers the undesirable effect. Okay, what is undesirable effect and how this undesirable effect can deteriorate the flavor of any food item. So the undesirable effect of browning reaction seen in a dehydrated food such as milk, egg, dry fruits, in cut fruits, citrus fruits, juices, concentrates, in canned milk and coconut. The color varies from the light cream to the black, while coconut developed a saffron color. The off color and of order developed in food depends on the extent to which the browning reaction has progressed. So we have already discussed, means whenever you don't want a food item to be cooked at a degree that will impart a off flavor, that is known as undesirable browning reaction. Okay, so this undesirable effect of browning reaction, it is mainly seen in the food items that are dehydrated. Dehydrated means where the water content is very less. Okay, so in this dehydrated food item, most of the dehydrated like fruits and vegetables, you have dried eggs and canned or dried milk. So it leads to the browning effect in them, and that browning effect leads to a undesirable, and it gives the off color, off odor, and this off color and off odor is not acceptable by humans, and they have a very bitter taste. So it is very important that if browning is there, then control browning is necessary even in the foods where the browning is desired, because excessive browning can produce a undesirable product. That I have already discussed when we have just started the topic कि अगर एक ब्रेड है, अगर आप ब्रेड को हल्का सा सेकते हो, राइट, हल्की सी उसकी ब्राउनिंग इफेक्ट देते हो, तो वो एक्सेप्टेबल होती है. क्यों? क्योंकि वो आपको लाइट कलर की ब्राउनिंग जो ब्रेड होती है वो आपको अच्छी लगती है, वो टेस्ट उसका पसंद आता है. बट वहीं पर अगर उस ब्राउनिंग जब आप उसको सेक रहे हो, तो अगर वो जितना अमाउंट से पेट मीन्स जितना टेम्परेचर, जितनी हीट पे उसको सेकना चाहिए उससे ज़्यादा हो गई, तो ऑब्वियसली दैट ब्राउन कलर bread will turn into a dark brown, and sometimes it leads to a black color. That is unacceptable, and it gives a very bitter taste that is not acceptable by the humans. Now this is how the browning reaction take place. So basically the browning reaction is being divided into two types: the enzymatic browning, and second is a non-enzymatic browning. So in enzymatic browning and non-enzymatic browning, they have a further classification. So if we first see the browning reaction, that is a enzymatic browning reaction. So as the name suggests, enzymatic, what comes quickly in our mind? So in enzymatic browning, it basically occurs when a fresh food, or you can say a fresh beverage product, are exposed to air. Okay, so let's say I have just mentioned one image, that is a fresh apple, a green apple. Okay, so whenever this apple is exposed to air, this apple, if you see, after cutting this apple, it is exposed to air. So as it exposed to air, there is an active enzyme that is present within the food, or you can say in any of the beverages. Okay, so it usually turn to a brown color. ये हम डेली एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं इन आवर होम्स whenever we cut apple or any food, sorry, any fruits like apple, banana, or sometimes if you cut any of the thing, so the color quickly changes. That is the reason घर पे ही जब हम एप्पल काटते हैं थोड़ी देर के बाद वो ब्राउन कलर हो जाता है. Why? Because of the enzymatic reaction. And how does the enzymatic reaction take place? Because the surface of the apple, the cut surface of this apple is exposed to the air. So after exposed to the air, the product, there are certain types of active enzymes that is present in the food. The reaction occurs and it turns to a brown color. Okay, now comes to the non-enzymatic one. So non-enzymatic browning, it can produce brown or sometimes a fluorescent or highly cross-linked pigments such as melatonin and chromophores, that we will going to cover in detail. Further, the non-enzymatic browning is further divided into different types, like Maillard reactions are there, caramelization are there, ascorbic acid browning is there. Okay, now let us understand the enzymatic browning. Okay, so the enzymatic reaction in detail, let us understand. So the color changes that take place in fruits, already discussed with the example of apple, and different kinds of vegetables. If you cut a slice of a potato, then again the color changes. Okay, as you see, after some time the color turn into different color, means sometimes a light blackish color, or it is a starting of the brown color. Okay, now due to the presence of enzyme is called the enzymatic browning. So the light color fruits and vegetable darkens when exposed to air as a result of the presence of oxidative enzyme, because in air there sorry, so these fruits and vegetables, it after you cut the slice of the fruits and vegetable, the color changes. How the color changes? Because they are exposed to air, and because of this and there is a certain types of oxidative enzymes or are present, and it leads to a browning. Now coming to the next point, that is a enzymatic browning occurs in those fruits and vegetables when the cellular organization is disturbed by cutting, bruising, or injuries in the tissue. This is again an important, means as someone will ask you that क्या browning reaction हर एक में होती है? No, browning reaction occurs to those fruits and vegetables when their cellular organization is disturbed, means whenever their cellular organization is disturbed by cutting, bruising, or the injuries to the tissue. This is due to the action of oxidative enzymes on the presence of phenolic substance present in the fruits and vegetables tissue. For example, apple, banana, pear, brinjals, potato undergoes the enzymatic reaction. So sometimes people ask you, name the enzyme, name the fruits and vegetables that undergoes a enzymatic browning. So what are the examples? Apple, because every day in our home we see this process whenever we cut brinjals, like bangan, so it leads to a brown color. Similar case is with the banana, similar case is with the pear. So it turns after a point of you can say hour or a minute, the fruits and vegetable, it turns to a brown color. Now comes the non-enzymatic browning. So non-enzymatic brownings we have already discussed in detail, means what is a non-enzymatic browning. So non-enzymatic browning, it can produce a brown or a fluorescent highly cross-linked pigments, and it is further divided into a number of reactions, okay, a number of chemical processes, not in since the name suggests non-enzymatic reactions, oh sorry, browning, so it does not contain any enzyme, means a number of chemical processes that occur, but they are not involving any enzymes, and this may result in a food browning. So the first one is the Maillard reaction. So Maillard reaction is very important, and in examination this Maillard reaction generally comes. So what is a Maillard reaction? If I will not read this paragraph, the simple thing is Maillard reaction, it is caused by the condensation of what? Amino group, and reducing the compound, resulting a complex change in biological and food system. This reaction was first described by a Louis Maillard, and after his name Louis Maillard, the name of the reaction was given. So and what it does, if you see this diagram, protein plus sugar plus heat, it gives you the colored, flavored and aroma baked bread. Okay, so how it is done? It is caused by condensation of what? Amino group and a reducing compound, okay, in the presence of what? In the presence of heat, and it gives you a product that has a good aroma and color. So again, the Maillard reaction is a protein and sugar interaction. As you can see in this diagram, there is an interaction of protein with sugar, and it leads to the development of brown color in a mixture containing a amino acid and reducing sugar. Sometimes it is in examination they can also ask you, can you tell something about carbonyl amine reaction? So the carbonyl amine reaction is simply a Maillard reaction. It is the name of the Maillard reaction. The brown color formed contributes the aroma, means whatever you get the brown color, so it contributes to the aroma, it contributes to the flavor and color of many ready to eat cereals, baked food, melted barley, etc. Various factors which affects this reactions are the type of sugar. The more percentage of reducing sugar, the darker the crust in the baker product. The type of amino acid, temperature and moisture. So in this way people ask you means the Maillard reaction, in this it leads if there is a reaction, so it leads to the it leads to it it contributes to the aroma, it contributes to the flavor, it contributes to the color of to the ready to eat cereal, okay, and different types of baked food. But there is a question, means what are the factors which affect the Maillard reaction? So the first factor which affect the Maillard reaction is the temperature, moisture and the type of amino acid that is used, the type of sugar that is used, okay, means the darker the crust, the big that means that as you can say, the reactions are the type of sugar, the more, means which depending upon the type of sugar, the more percentage of reducing sugar, the crust of the bakery product would be darker. The type of amino acid again. So all these lead these are the factors that leads to the browning. Now coming to the caramelization. So when sugar is heated at temperature 160 degrees centigrade, so what is caramelization? So caramelization we generally do at our home also, and how it is caramelization take place. So whenever the sugar is heated at a very high temperature and around 160 degrees centigrade, and there is no water, means in the absence of water and amino acid, so it turns to a brown, and this sugar and sugar interaction is known as caramelization. Sugar, in this sugar, it is broken down into a number of compound due to intense heat, means sucrose caramel plus acid. So what is caramelization? This reaction leads to the brown product when a sugar are heated dry or in a solution. A large quantities of the industrial caramel color are added to the beverage. For example, Coca-Cola drink. So if you are aware of the color of the Coca-Cola, it is brown in color. So this brown in color. They are been they get from this caramelization process, where the sugar, only the sugar, it is heated at a very high degree temperature, like 160 degrees centigrade, and there is no such absence, there is an absence of water, and because of the absence of water, it turns to the caramelization and it gives to a brown in color in different types of beverages, sometimes in the and in the baked goods, confectionaries, and they are heated at a very high temperature, or you can say they are made by heating a high conversion of the corn syrups also. And if you are using a high corn conversion of corn syrups, so there will be the absence of catalyst, acid and alkalis and salt. Now we will see what is a reaction of oxidation product. Okay, so the reaction of oxidative product is further divided into two. That is the ascorbic acid browning, and the second one is the lipid browning. So what do you understand by the ascorbic browning, acid browning? Since the name suggests ascorbic acid, so here the ascorbic acid will is present. So whenever the ascorbic acid, okay, any sorry whenever the ascorbic acid it is heated in the presence of acids, so there is a furfural is formed. The later, either by itself or after reacting with the amino compound, polymerize to a brown product, and it will gives you a brown color. So many citrus fruits, especially their concentrates, developed a browning which has been contributed to the ascorbic acid degradation. So in simple words, if anybody asks you what is the ascorbic acid browning, so ascorbic acid browning, it is simply when a ascorbic acid is heated. In the presence of acid, furfural is formed. Examples are citrus fruits. Okay, so especially their concentrate, they develops the browning which has been attributed to ascorbic acid degradation. Now comes the lipid browning. What do you understand by lipid browning? So in lipid browning, many fatty foods, means many fatty foods like uh, different types of fatty foods that have a good amount of fat in themselves. So many fatty foods during the processing and storage, what they do, they exhibit a browning effect which can be attributed to the reaction of the lipid oxidation product with amino acid, amines and proteins. For example, white fish containing PUFA and a high concentrate of protein, it shows the discoloration in muscle during a frozen storage. Okay, so this is what a lipid browning is all about. So this browning, if you say that if you see the browning effect, it again it gives you, if not, it gives the food aroma, it gives a food a texture, it gives a food, you can say, color, and it is acceptable by many humans. But yes, when a browning is done in a desired manner. So now comes, this is an additional thing, I'm just writing it down, how to measure browning. Okay, sometimes in interview this question is asked a lot, that how you measure, the heading is how to measure browning. Okay, how to measure a browning. So as the because browning thermal treatment is done. So as the thermal treatment resulted in the increased in the colored substance content, which is measured as an increase in absorbance at absorbance at what, at 420 to 560 nm by the reactants known as calorimetry. Simple thing to answer is how to measure this browning. So browning is measured when there is an increase in absorbance at 420 to and 650 nm, and it is done with the help of an instrument that is known as calorimeter. So this question is very important, and it is generally asked in the interviews as well as in the exams also. So you must be aware of what is the machine that is used in measuring the browning. Okay, so that's all about browning reaction, and why it is used, because it imparts the color and flavor, and where it is used. So basically, if you see the browning products, so they are used in different types of the beverage industries, since it is used in imparting the color to a Coca-Cola, the brown color. It is used in different types of bakery industries. Okay, so in bakery industries, most of your cookies, they undergoes the browning effect. So browning effect is used on a large scale in different types of industries, and it is one of the reaction that imparts the flavor as well as the color to the food items. So now we have already discussed about the method also. So as far as the lecture is concerned, Maillard reaction is very important, because most of the question comes through this Maillard reaction. And what is the difference between enzymatic browning and non-enzymatic browning? This question generally asked in the in examination. And one thing is very important, like what are the factors that affect the enzymatic browning. So this Maillard reaction is Maillard and caramelization, these two is always there in the examination, so you must be aware of these two questions. So thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe ITLS Academy. You can follow ITLS Academy on different platforms, and this is our website, that is www.itlsacademy.com. You can simply visit our website, and this is our WhatsApp number as well as the calling number. If you have any doubt, any query related to the lectures, or if you want to enroll in any of the courses, so you can simply call on this number, that is 7080833450. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe, and yes, don't forget to press the bell icon to get more update from ITLS Academy. Thank you everybody.